Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for this week I am planning for the week of August 26th to September 1st, which happens to be my son's first week back at school. And if you watched my plan with me video last week, you guys know that I've been trying to stick to or trying to get back to a consistent routine. And while I did that last week, it is changing up just a little bit again this week. Not so much, it's just adding in my son's like school, like dropping him off, picking him up. Everything else for the most part stays the same. And one thing that has changed within the last, I would say, few weeks is that we got rid of my 2-year-old's nap time, and now he falls asleep, or he's in bed by 7:30 and usually falls asleep around 8. And it's allowed me to have a little bit of a better routine as far as the things that I want to accomplish in the evening, like working on YouTube, being on social media, because I really try to lay off of it during the day when I'm with the kids, and just having more time for the things that I want to do, because I don't get to work on it again during the day. And so just talking a little bit about how my routine goes and how I like it is I like to get my workouts in the very first thing. I was doing this, I would say, when my son was still in school, like when he was in kindergarten. He's in first grade now, so just like a few months ago. But in the summertime, I was working out pretty much after breakfast when the kids are playing. They don't mind watching me work out. It was only for like half an hour anyways, but I do like to get my workouts in first thing. So last week, or I would say the last 2 weeks, I've been starting my workouts at 5:30 in the morning, sometimes a little earlier depending if I get up on time, because I have been tracking the time that my 2-year-old has been waking up, and usually he wakes up in like between, I would say, like 6:45 to 7. So I'm trying to give myself enough time so that I can get some things done in the morning. So work out for like about half an hour, be done with that by 6, and so that by 6 to 6:30 I'm doing prep. And as you guys can see in my planner, whenever I put prep down up there, it just means starting off my morning routine, like putting away all the dishes that was drying from the night before, getting my son's breakfast ready and his lunch, my 6-year-old's lunch ready for school. And then, oh, and also I forgot to mention, I added a window of time for me in the morning, like after my workouts, when I'm trying to get myself to dry off, to just be on social media, be on Instagram, Facebook. I'm part of a couple of groups on Facebook, and I haven't been too active, so I want to get back into that. And so I'm allowing myself some time to just be on social media for like half an hour. And you guys know, I can get pretty stuck, or we can get pretty stuck kind of scrolling and kind of losing track. So I try to allow myself only a small window of time in the morning. And then followed by what else throughout the day. So after breakfast, after I've had my coffee, I usually have my coffee when the boys are having breakfast. I am the most productive in the morning, so a lot of my to-do things get done in the morning. And then I do schedule in my lunchtime in there as well. Like all of my meals, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, does get scheduled out, because it's, for the most part, stays pretty consistent. That's pretty much the time that we eat our meals. And then my son does get out of school a little bit later, like about an hour later this year. So I have a little bit of time to kind of spend with my 2-year-old. We are going to be starting like some activities for him, kind of like a little bit of preschool things at home. And hopefully I stick to that, just so our day is a little bit more structured. I do have a book that I'm following. It's an ABC activity book. You guys will probably see me writing down later. And then what else during the day? Oh, so you guys will see me highlighting later, but for pickup, I did kind of draw a little line, because usually around pickup time, my son's school is literally right next to a park, so we'll have a little bit of park time. And then as far as homework goes, I know he doesn't have homework probably for the next week. I just wanted to write that down to kind of establish some kind of like routine. Like that's the time that I want him to be doing, my kid to be doing homework right before dinner, because I feel like after dinner and then playtime happens, the night just kind of goes by and I don't want him to skip out on his homework. And usually we're all done eating dinner around 6:30, and the boys will kind of play. The routine lately has been different because my husband's been home. He got injured, so he's been home since the end of July, which has also thrown off my routine just a little bit. But usually it's playtime with daddy, and I get to, you know, like clean up a little bit, like in the kitchen, do my dishes early or get some things done, like tasking things done. And then by 7 o'clock, we're, you know, taking baths, unwinding, because bedtime happens at 7:30, and then I get to work usually around after 8 o'clock. I come back out and I start to work on the things that I want to do. And some things that don't get written down on here is the time that I read, because I do like to read right before I fall asleep because it helps me fall asleep. I also try to allow some time in the evening, probably like about an hour, so that my husband and I can catch up on some shows. And one of the shows that we're addicted to right now is America's Got Talent. And just like sometimes we'll have movie nights and stuff if I don't have too much going on, like if I don't have to edit or film. And just catching up on some shows, just spending time together. And we do love watching movies, so that's one of the things I like to do, because especially when he used to work a lot, it was so rare for us to see each other because he'd do a lot of overtime. So it's just nice to kind of unwind with him as well, but before we go to bed. So since my battery was running out, or it was about to die, I just went ahead and planned just so I had enough battery to show you guys how the outcome of my layout. And some of the things that I added was a legend for my my color coding for this week, because I'm still kind of playing around with that. And then I also added a schedule for my son's activities for this week. It's nothing long, it only takes about like 10-15 minutes, but I wanted to just write it out just so I can see it and I know for the day that's what we need to work on. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.